Hello, this is Run the Numbers. My name is Jason, and the video you're watching here is getting a little bit bumpy. It might be a little bit noisy, and that is because we're on the go. We're in motion. We're walking through the streets of Los Angeles, California, and being on the go in motion, we'll do that as a walk and talk so that we can cover great topics related to personal finance. Today is in fact a good topic to cover, but first we get to that, I want to mention that this video, in addition to being part of our warm-up series, the other staple of this video is that it is part of the 100 videos challenge. So what's that? That is, I'll answer it, the fact that this video is part of one of 100 that I am creating and publishing up onto YouTube. It's part of the challenge to do all of that. So 100 videos are published in 100 days. It's quite an aggressive pace. That's what makes it a good challenge. And it's all done for the specific reason that I hope to have a whole library, a lot of content of videos that can help you on your personal finance journey. Okay, so now with that introduction being complete, let's jump right into today's video, and that is tipping fatigue. So you might have very well have felt it recently, but it seems more and more often as a consumer, I'll at least speak for myself, I'm being asked to tip, and maybe in fact you as well, you the consumer might be asked to tip more often, and oftentimes it's higher amounts than maybe what you've been used to before. And I'm not talking about everything's rising because of inflation and all this. I'm just saying even like the relative value, it would kind of be normal to be, if you were a good tipper, you could be 15, 18, 20%. Now you're seeing these technology terminals as you pay, these POS, these point of sale systems, some of them by ones Square and Clover, and I don't want to be a big advertisement of all this, but various ones that you've seen at say the takeout counter or all kinds of areas. And it seems like the standard, there's kind of default options, and it seems like the standards are much, much higher. Some joke that it's ridiculously too high, and that yes, it is causing this tipping fatigue. So it is a very real phenomenon that people, by and large, through many surveys, it's been uncovered that people are feeling like they're being asked to tip too often and too much. And I'll speak for myself, and I've definitely felt that. Just the other day, I was with my family, and we went to celebrate something. We don't do it that often, but we wanted to splurge a little bit and let the kids shop at a candy store that also had a little bit of some ice cream. And yeah, I was quite surprised that come time to pay for a little, like one or two items of candy, and then one cup of the ice cream for each of my children. It seemed like it was just an expected thing on the point of sale system. Once putting in the credit card, seeing the different options, that it said 3 different default options of what I could choose. One was 15%, one was 20%, one was 25%. So I thought that was very interesting, because in the very, very corner of all that was even an option to put no tip. And it was much more smaller and I wouldn't say harder to find, but just it definitely wasn't the call to action as the prominently figured default options, as I mentioned, of the 15%, 20%, 30% of the bill. And by the way, this was the bill post tax being calculated in. So you can also factor that a lot of people are used to putting in a tip pre-tax. So whether you do that or not, but just mentioning that, putting that on the table. Okay. So yeah, I kind of thought to myself, what exactly was the service? I went to do all the effort of picking out the candies, of course doing that with the kids to make sure that the candies were to their liking. But this is to say, I did the work of shopping, of selecting the candies. It wasn't like I had some white glove experience where someone met me at the door and helped me do all these various things. Literally, I gathered all the candies. Again, that's part of the tally. And the other thing of the ice cream, as far as, am I paying extra in terms of a bigger tip for that service? I haven't been used to, making it standard and default to pay somewhere upwards of 25% for someone because they did the labor to scoop out the ice cream. I think that was just part of the experience of buying ice cream at this place. And I should say, it has always been my experience at this one establishment that in the past has always been, the standard experience that, you're simply paying for this experience, for getting ice cream there, and no tip required. But this is something new. Now tip is required. So yeah, I definitely have experience. So this whole tipping fatigue, I definitely saw that and went, what? Oh my gosh. I'm expected now here to fork out even extra money. So yeah, I'll definitely, raise my hand and confirm the tipping fatigue is real. Now you might think, what to do about it. Do you want to rebel against that and kind of have a hard line and say, nope, I don't tip in these situations? Do you take it out on some workers that might rely on the tips? Do you want to rebel against that whole system that those workers shouldn't rely on the tips, and you want to kind of have some measure to, I guess, fight against that? There's a lot of different feelings, a lot of different opinions. I don't want to prescribe one or the other. So I'm not trying to bring about, here's what we should all do about it. Let's band together or anything. I'm just simply pointing out, identifying that there is something of a problem that people are experiencing, like myself, that yes, it seems the consumer is being asked to tip and being asked to tip, being asked to tip more often and being asked to tip more than at least what I had thought was standard from previous times. So that's where I want to leave you at it. I just simply want to identify that this is something I have experienced. I'm sure it's something you've experienced. And when you think through your personal finance and your sort of rules, your rule of thumb as to how you want to go about tipping and the payments you make, this is all part of the game. This is all things that you might want to think about. So understanding that this tipping fatigue is real and others experience it and you're not alone, that might help you out. Okay, I'm gonna leave you there. Gotta run.